In this screencast, we'll discuss how to add posts and edit the blog of your Real Geeks website. We'll show you how to configure your blog homepage, add and edit posts, add and edit categories, as well as how to manage your blog comments. So first, let's take a look at creating the homepage of your blog. This is the section of the blog that sits on top of all your blog posts. You can choose to leave this blank or to give an introduction to your blog and brand. I want to introduce my blog posts, so let's work on this. While logged in to the back end of your site administration page, at the top of the page is a section completely devoted to editing your blog. You can easily add a home page by clicking this button here, or you can click on the actual link labeled Blog Homepage. At the top right corner, you'll want to select the button that says Add Blog Homepage. So first we have the title, which will outline what the page is about. Most of the time, Google will use this as the text that is displayed when linking your site in search engine results. As search engine practices have evolved, we find this is used less often, and the text that is linked to it is determined by the search engines themselves. That said, it's still useful in providing context on what the page is about. So let's go ahead with Hawaii Real Estate News Blog. Then we have the meta description, which needs to include details that tell the user what it's about. You want that to show up as something attractive to click on as well, since this is the snippet that Google will usually use. Next, we have the meta keywords. This is where you can put keywords in of what your page is about. Search engines once used this field to help rank sites on search result pages. This is no longer the case, but again, there's still value in providing additional context on what the page is about, and it may have additional meaning for social media sites. So I'll enter some keywords here. Now, the next item on the blog page is content. This is where you'll add the body of the content of your page. It's very important that you not duplicate content or copy someone else's website, like Google or Wikipedia. You need to uniquely write it. Copying content is only going to hurt you in the rankings because Google will know that the other site that had the content first is the authoritative site, and you're never going to get ranked because you'll be read as a duplicate or copycat. So, if you're going to copy content over from an old site or another document and not write it freeform into this section, then you need to make sure that you copy it and paste it, not just straight from a Word document, because Word adds its own code into these editors. So, if you're using a PC, you want to use Notepad, or if you're using a Mac like I am, you'll want to use TextEdit. I already have text here that I've copied and I want to convert from rich text to plain text. This is done by going up to the Format window and selecting the Make Plain Text option in the drop-down menu. After converting your text to a plain text format, you'll want to copy your text, return to your main browser, where your page editor is, and paste the text into your content section. Here you can highlight your header and select the correct formatting option that suits your style. Now, let's say you want to add an active text link to an existing page you've created. To do so, you need to highlight the word and click on the Insert Link icon above. Now, if you're linking outside of the site, you'll want to enter the full URL here. For example, http://www.realgeeks.com. But let's say you want to link this to your homepage. Anytime you're doing that, all you have to do is enter a / and no slug. But in this case, I'd like to link the word to my featured properties page. So anytime you're linking within the website, all you have to do is add a / the slug, in this case it's featured, and then a / once again, and click OK. So now you have a hyperlink that is linking it to the featured properties page. Now if you want to add an image, you need to decide where you want the image to be, and then click on this little mountain, which will take you to our Insert Edit Image button. This leads you to the image browser, where you can click the file browser, find your image, choose the little arrow, and it gives you a few options. I want my image to be smaller and to constrain its proportions. So I'm going to enter 300, and it'll scale accordingly. Then, in the Advanced tab, I want to add a 10 pixel border around it on both sides. Now, I'll hit OK. To align the image to the left, you want to highlight it and click on the left alignment icon. To link the image, we'll want to do the same thing we did with the text link. So let's highlight the image, select the Insert Link button, and again, if you're linking outside of the site, you'll want to type the full URL here. If I wanted to link the image to my Maui area page, I'd enter a /, the slug, in this case it's the word Maui, and then a / again. But let's link this to the home page, which only requires a / and no slug. So I'll do that, and then I'll hit OK. So let's take a look at the blog homepage on my front end. My settings are such that I have a search box above, followed by my blog homepage content title, which reads Real Estate Web Design. Then I have my active text link built into the word website, that if clicked on, would lead me to the featured property page. I have my image sized the way I want, with a 10 pixel border, and an active image link that if clicked on, would lead me to the home page. And below this, you'll see some of my blog posts to follow. So there you have it. That's how you set up the home page of your blog. So next, let's take a look at blog categories. Blog posts can be placed in 0 or more categories. In this sense, categories work like tags because a post can be in multiple categories. So again, returning to the site administration page, at the top, under the blog section, you'll see categories listed. You can quickly add a category with this button here, but let's click on the actual link. So here we have a list of categories that I've already added to my blog. If you check one of them and select Delete from the drop-down menu above, then upon hitting Go, it'll be deleted from your site. I don't want to do this, so I'll uncheck it, and instead, I'll add a new category by clicking the Add Category button at the top right of the page here. So here you'll want to enter a category name, and below, the slug will automatically generate. The name is how it will appear in the list of categories on the front end, and the slug is the way it will appear in the latter part of your URL. So I know that I'll be posting a lot about relocating to Hawaii, so I'm going to add a category called Relocation Services. Now, in the field below, you'll see that all uppercase characters are changed to lower, and that spaces are converted to dashes. Let's save the category and take a look at our new addition on the front end. So on the right, in my blog sidebar, you'll see a list of categories that I've already added to the site. They appear in alphabetical order, and toward the bottom, you can see the newly added category of Relocation Services. If clicked on, all blog posts marked with this category would show up on the page. I haven't added anything to this yet, so let's work on configuring a post instead. So now we'll add and edit a blog post for the blog page. Once again, let's return to the site administration panel on the back end, and under the blog section, you'll see the word Posts listed. You can click the Add button here to quickly add a post to your blog, or you can click the actual link like this. So here we have all the current blog posts listed. You can search a term in the search box above. For example, I'll enter Oahu and hit Search, and all posts containing Oahu in the title will appear in the list below. From here, I can check the box next to the title, and in the drop-down menu, I can select Delete Selected Posts to delete it from my page. I don't want to do that, so I'll uncheck the box and clear the search field. Now the post can also be viewed by date published as well as the status, meaning whether or not it is a draft or a published blog post. The same organizational tools can be seen on the right side of the table here in the sidebar. But let's create a post by clicking on the upper right-hand corner of the page on the button that reads Add Post. So once again, at the top of the page, you'll want to add a title, which will outline what the page is about. So let's go ahead with relocating to the islands. In the field below, you'll see the slug automatically populate with the words relocating-islands. The slug is generated by the main text in the title, and it turns uppercase characters, again, into lowercase, and spaces into dashes. You can also see how it omits the words to the in an effort to simplify the slug, which will be the latter part of the URL following the .com part. Then, once again, we have the body of the post where you can add content. Again, it's very important that you not copy content from another website, but rather create content that is uniquely written so that Google doesn't read your site as a copycat, which will only hurt you in the search rankings. And again, if you're going to be moving content from an old site to your new Real Geeks site, you want to make sure you convert that text into a plain text format using a simple text editor. So again, because I'm on a Mac, I'm going to open Text Edit, and in the drop-down menu, I'll select the Make Plain Text option and select OK. This will remove any styling functions from my previous site and make it easy to paste and format on my new site. Then I'll highlight the text, copy it, and return to my content editor. So now I'll paste the text here. Then I'll add a header and format it to suit my content. So again, if you'd like to add an active text link, you'll want to highlight the term. In this case, I'm going to highlight the word blog and click on the Insert Link button. If I wanted to link this to an outside site, I'd enter the full URL just like this. And if I wanted to link it to the home page, I'd only enter a / with no slug. But let's link this word to the blog page. So I'll enter the slug, which is a / blog, and a / once again. Now let's add an image, just as we did before. So I'll place my cursor exactly where I want the image to go. Then I'll select the Insert Image icon, which is this little mountain here. It'll lead me to the Insert Edit Image window, where upon selecting the file browser, I'll find my image, click on the little arrow to the left, and then edit the dimensions to my liking. So I'll constrain the proportions and enter 250. Then in the Advanced tab, I'll add a 10-pixel border to both sides so the image will have some cushion within the text. Then I'll hit OK. To wrap the text around the image to the left, I'll want to highlight the image and select the Left Alignment button. Now let's link this image to a page just as we did earlier. So I'm going to highlight the image and select the Insert Link button above. If I were to link this outside of the site, I'd enter the full URL again. But if I were linking this to the Maui page, I'd enter a / the slug, which is Maui, and then a / again. But let's link this to my home page, which again only requires a /. Then I'll hit OK. Now if we scroll down, I can decide on the status of this post. In the drop-down menu, it reads Draft or Published. Draft posts don't show up until you change their status to Published. This is useful for working on a post, then saving your progress, then finishing it up and publishing it later. Whereas Published means that the post is set to go live. If you tick the checkbox next to Allow Comments, then comments are enabled on the front end. If you tick the checkbox next to No Follow Comments, then this means you don't want search engines like Google indexing any links in the comment section. This makes comment spam useless, but diminishes some commenters' motivation. From here, in the options to follow, you have the option to future date your posts, so they go live at a later date or time. To ensure the post goes live, upon save, you'll want to click Today and Now, which will set to post at the current date and time. Then in the field to follow, you can set a page title. If you want to enter something different than the blog title, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can leave this field blank. Then just as we saw earlier, the meta description needs to include details that tell the user what it's about. You want this to show up as something attractive to click on because it's a snippet that Google will usually use. And in the meta keywords, I'll enter keywords that describe what my page is about. Lastly, I can select categories from the table below. As we covered earlier, blog posts can be placed in 0 or more categories. So I'll hold down the Command key and select a few of these that suit my post. You can even see relocation services, which I added earlier. And if I don't see a category that suits my post, instead of navigating all the way to the back administration, I can add a new category here directly. By clicking the green plus symbol here, it'll open a new window where I can once again add a category. In this case, I'll add Hawaii properties, and the slug will auto-generate below. Upon hitting save, I'll bounce back to the blog post editor where the new category is selected. To unselect it, I can hold down the Command key and click on it. So let's save our work and take a look at the post on the front end. So here I have my blog post. My slug is visible in the URL just as configured on the back. It reads a / relocating -islands and a / again. Then I have my post where the title at the top reads relocating to the islands. My content to follow is formatted with a header just as I've configured, with an active text link built into blog and an active image link built into my image. But let's navigate to the blog homepage to see where my post sits there. So at the top of the page is a search form, followed by my blog homepage introduction, just as we configured earlier. Right under that sits my blog post about relocating to the islands, formatted exactly as I've designed it on the back end. Under the post, it reads Posted In, and the 3 categories I selected are listed. If clicked on, all posts categorized under the subject will appear in the window. So now that the blog homepage, categories, and posts have been created, let's go over blog comments. So first I'll show you how a user leaves a comment. On the blog page, I'll navigate to the post and select the No Comments Yet link under my Relocating to the Islands post. So here, the user can enter their name, email address, URL, and a comment. Now, depending on your default settings and how it's arranged, a CAPTCHA may be required, which helps filter out spam bots from flooding your blog with comments full of spam. So let's finish up this form and click Post. Now, the comment will not go live yet unless it's approved on the back end. So let's navigate to the backend administrative panel once more. Here, I'll select the link that reads Blog Comments. After clicking the Blog Comments link, you'll see a list of comments on all blog posts. If you have a lot of comments to sift through, you can search a specific term to find the comment you're looking for. Here, I'll search Adams, and the comment from Jesse Adams will pop up. That way, I can directly go to the comment of my choice and edit it. But let's clear that search and take a look at the entire list once more. Now keep in mind, comments don't show up on the blog post page right after being posted. They must be marked as approved first. As the admin, this is your job. So individual comments can be approved one at a time, but for larger numbers of comments, this becomes tedious. This is where bulk editing and filtering becomes useful. So at the top of the page, I can filter my comments by year. So far, it lists 2015 and 2016. I can also check all the comments and apply an action from the drop-down box to all of them. I can delete all selected comments marked as spam. I could approve all selected comments, or I can even delete all selected comments. So to confirm these options, I would normally click Go, but I don't want to do any of these actions. So I'll uncheck the box. Another solution to sort through the comments is to select the header of each table. So here I can look at the list by IP address, date and time submitted, and whether or not they've been approved yet, or whether spam has been detected. I can also use the options in the sidebar. But let's click the actual link of Arlene Smith's comment. Now on the back end, we can see all the elements of each field populated here. Here I can change any of the fields, including the Is Approved checkbox and whether spam has been detected. The No Follow checkbox at the bottom will be based on the rules set to my posts, as I configured earlier. So, per my selection, this means I don't want search engines to index any links in the comment. So, now at the bottom, I can either choose to delete the comment or save my changes, which will publish them on the front end. So I'll hit save. Now let's take a look at what this comment looks like on the front. So on the blog page, I'll scroll down to my blog post, and now that the comment has been approved, it reads one comment in the bottom corner. If I click on that link, I'll be navigated to the page with the individual post and comment to follow. So here we see Arlene Smith's comment live on the front end, just as we've approved. So there you have it. Thanks for joining us and learning all about the blog homepage, adding and editing categories, posts, and blog comments. Please check out our docs at docs.realgeeks.com to edit and add other page styles, sidebars, navigations, upload images, widgets, videos, along with all other technical features for your Real Geeks website.